Hello, welcome to another edition of Between Two Owls. I'm your host, Tom Price. With us today is Dr. Charles Osborne from the Mathematics Department. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
So tell me a little bit about where you grew up.
So I was born in the suburbs of Cleveland. The town I grew up in is called South Euclid, actually, which I guess is fitting for a mathematician.
Yes.
In the late 80s, we moved to the South Jersey area when my father got a new job, and I've lived in that area ever since. Not the same residence, of course, but different towns in South Jersey. But
And did you play any games or musical instruments or anything? What were you into as a child?
I guess I've always liked math, which I guess you probably surmised. As far as clubs and so forth in school, I was a member of the chess club, but I was an awful player, so I never really went anywhere competitively, of course.
And do you have any siblings?
Yes, I have one younger brother. He is a professor of philosophy at Rowan.
And what would he say about you?
What would he say about me?
Yeah.
Good things, I hope. He'd probably say that I hope that he would say I was an inspiration to him to continue his own academic work.
Cool. And where did you do your undergraduate work?
My undergraduate degree is from Rutgers Camden. I chose it because it's reasonably close to where I lived. It probably is still close to where I live now. So.
And did you study math from the beginning?
Yes, indeed. I toyed with the idea of computer science because my father had been a computer programmer, but ultimately I decided that academia was the place for me, and my strongest subject is my first love is math. So.
Cool. And did you have any mentors as an undergraduate student?
As an undergraduate, professors Will Lee and Mahesh Narikar at Rutgers Camden were probably the ones who had the greatest hands in my formation mathematically. At the high school level, Mike Giuliano was probably the best of the math teachers I had. So.
Cool. And where did you go for your graduate work?
I actually completed my graduate degree here at Temple.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Right. You might know Professor Detskovsky. He had been my advisor.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it worked out well for me. So.
Yeah. And what do you like best about your job now?
I like that I can help build people up, help them sort of move on with what they want to do in their lives.
And what classes do you teach here?
Presently, I teach Calculus 1 and number theory. I've taught pretty much the entire calculus sequence in both the regular and honors flavors. I've taught Intro to Modern Algebra as well, Basic Concepts of Math, which is sort of the how to write a proof class.
Okay.
And I think a lot of students don't necessarily know that as you go into the higher levels of math, the content becomes increasingly proof oriented, and the sort of greatest skill is composing proofs. So it's
what is a sort of basic expectation you have of your students?
That they this is going to be the most stereotypical answer ever, that they do the homework. I mean, especially when I teach a lower level math course, it's a course about developing a skill, and you only ever develop a skill by practicing it, right? That's when you look at the lecture notes and review the recordings, you can get to the point where you can do the problems with the supporting devices around you, but you only build up speed. You only get really good at it when you do it.
Sure. I mean, that's true about most areas of study. I'm going to shift gears a little bit. What would you consider to be your main fault?
My main fault? I suppose I have a tendency to be overly formal and stiff at sometimes.
What are you currently reading?
Reading? The last novel I read was one of Ian Banks's novels based on the culture. I think Consider Phlebas. So
do you have a significant other?
No.
If you could have a superpower, what would it be?
The ability to read minds.
What would be the title of your biography?
I don't know what it would be called. It seems egotistical for me to try to sort
of. Fair enough. What do you value most in your friends?
Honesty.
What's your favorite thing to do in Philly?
In Philadelphia. Reading Terminal Market is probably my favorite destination in Philly. Obviously, these days it's unavailable to me. But
Yeah. No, that's awesome. I love going there.
they have a really nice cheese shop there. So.
What's that? I'm sorry.
There's a stand there that sells really nice cheese. So.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite vacation destination or a dream destination?
Cedar Point, the amusement park.
Where is that? I don't know where that is.
It's in Sandusky, Ohio, probably about an hour out of Cleveland.
Oh, right.
On the roller coasters, so that's
cool.
Probably the single best overall collection, I think.
What kind of music do you like to listen to?
I listen to a lot of sort of 80s metal, like Iron Maiden, Judas Priest.
Really? I would not have guessed that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I actually used to do my calculus homework to Metallica.
Oh, nice.
When I was in high school.
Oh, cool.
Like sort of somehow it just made sense to me to do that. Do you have a favorite smartphone app?
No, I do not.
What's your favorite place to eat in Philly? I guess that ties into Reading Terminal Market.
Yeah.
What are you most passionate about in life?
What am I most passionate about? Am I to give a non-stereotypical answer?
No,
everyone knows me simply say it's my work and my teaching.
That's great. No, that's not everybody says that, so that's helpful.
Okay. I wanted to make sure that wasn't somehow disqualified, but that is definitely the answer I want to give.
Awesome. What would you consider as a guilty pleasure? Do you have a guilty pleasure? Or how do you relax?
I probably consume more sugary food than I should. So
do you have what's in your Netflix or Amazon Prime list or whatever it is? Whatever. Do you watch any Netflix shows or?
Not presently. I guess the television shows that sort of resonated most with me just historically would have been various iterations of Star Trek and Babylon 5.
Cool. I'm going to do something now called the rapid fire response.
Okay.
And it's going to give you 2 words and you just state your preference. Tea or coffee?
Coffee.
Morning or night?
Night.
Dark or milk chocolate?
Milk.
Offense or defense?
Defense.
Dogs or cats?
Dogs.
Bert or Ernie?
Ernie.
Half full or half empty?
Half full.
Hot or cold?
Cold.
PA or Jersey?
Jersey.
Awesome. Thanks so much for being on the show. It's been great talking to you.
Likewise.
All right, just give me 1 second.